Hey guys, welcome back to The Conscious Kingdom with Alex Roseman.
And Julia Fitzsilva. Hi guys.
It's really great to have you guys back, and we can't wait to share with you something that we find so important in our daily lives. Right now we're shooting from a new location, as you can probably tell. We are here in Dubai, an absolutely insane place, really the future of the world. If anyone's been here, you'll know what we're talking about. So today we want to really dive in deep from our own experience about decision making. For some of you hearing that, you might shiver. Some of you may be on the fence about a lot of things, so it may be really helping you. So this will give you some clarity based on our own feedback, our own experiences about what it is to make a decision. But what we're going to look at right now is, what is the cost? What does it mean to not be making a decision? So if what we're saying right now resonates with you, that's where you might be at now. Our goal is to really help you through this so that you can come out on the other side. So let's look at what it looks like to be in a indecision, right? What is the cost of that?
Yeah. Well, first of all, most of all, if you have come across this video, that means that this message is here for you and it's serving a particular purpose. That decision making and choices is what our life is made up of. Every single day we're making decisions, some on autopilot, the things that we are so used to having and so used to making, you know, whether it's what to eat, what to wear. Some of them can be really life altering and life changing. And you knowing yourself will see how these different types of decisions are made with different paces and with different processes in mind, right? Mm-hmm. And when we are staying in the state of not making a decision or indecisiveness, what does that feel for you? Because indecisiveness in itself holds that energy of stagnation. It holds that energy of limbo, right?
Yeah, it's, well, what does it come up with? I mean, if you feel insecure, if there's, when you're in that indecision place, it spreads like cancer through everything. You can't even make a decision about what to choose to eat that evening. You know, if there's something that's holding you back from making a decision, and it not only is it the insecurity, it's what else can come up for people. It's lack of confidence.
It's powerlessness.
Yeah, powerlessness, paralysis, procrastination. Really, people who are not able to make decisions are waiting for other people to make decisions for them. Yeah. And then it comes from a reactive place, which means that you haven't really owned your own strength, your own power, which means someone else is doing it for you, which means that you're not getting the result that you really want for you, because you haven't stepped up, right? You haven't stepped up in order to know, right, this is what I want. I'm so confident in myself that this is why I'm making that decision. Yeah. And we've seen it time and time again. People, even if given the most amazing opportunity, right? We see it from our perspective, and this has happened just recently to someone. The opportunity's there, it's a no-brainer. Of course you're going to make a decision to take that, and then they go, oh, I'm not sure.
Your mind steps in.
Yeah, the mind steps in, it's something scary.
Yeah.
And then you're like, and we're seeing it from our own experience of what it takes to make a decision. Yeah. And it's like, in a way, even though they're going to gain more from it, they're too scared to make that decision out of the fear of coming out of their comfort zone. Yeah. Because that means they are stepping out of something which is the unknown, right? Mm. And a lot of us stay where we are because it's far more scary to step out in the unknown. It's better to be comfortable in our own misery.
Even if it sounds like the most attractive opportunity, you will find 1,000 reasons why this will not work out, because people have grown up with this idea, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably isn't. So it becomes this self-sabotaging process where you will find any reason possible not to make that decision. And the mind is an amazing thing. If you're looking for it, you will find it.
Yeah,
right?
It's 100%. You know, we talk to ourselves, we have an inner dialogue, and what comes up a lot of times when someone's making a decision, they will look for reasons not to. They will look for anything not to, as Julia said. So we have to really, when we're making a decision, right? This is why it's so important to make there's not a right decision, it's just making a decision.
Yeah, there is no such thing as right or wrong decision.
As Grant Cardone, you may have heard of him. I think one of the things that's really stuck with me from what he said is, it's better to make a wrong decision than no decision at all.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's so powerful, because it takes off the pressure of making the right decision.
And
then
what is the right
decision?
Yeah, but what is the right decision anyways? You have to always kind of check in with yourself and go, what is the underlying motive behind it? Who is making that decision for you? Is it in line with what has always been done, right? What is expected of you from society, from parents, from everybody around you? Or what is running in line with your higher self? Now, most likely than not, what is running in line with your higher self will be scary as shit, right? Because it's going to be something that's going to make you grow. Now, decision making is a muscle, and it's a muscle that needs to be trained.
100%.
The more decisions you make during the day, the more powerful you will feel, the more in control you will feel, and more progress you will make on a daily basis.
Because there's a lot of time when people avoiding a decision is because they're avoiding conflict.
Yeah.
There's a conflict of, if I choose that, then I won't have this. And then what would that mean if I'm saying to this? What would someone else maybe judge me for that decision? And then I have to face that conflict. If I just hide or not make a decision, then it will go away. But then if you don't make the decision, if you don't face that conflict from wherever it is, you're going to have an inner conflict within yourself. And that inner conflict will really start burning a hole through you, because you'll start losing any confidence in your own ability. Then people will lose the confidence in you, because it's in a reflection, right? What's going on inside you is going to be shown on the outside. So if you're in this place right now, as I said, better to just make a decision, even if it's wrong, that you be able to deal with the consequences, because obviously
you have the trust in yourself that you'll be able to deal with the consequences, right?
Because then you realize, okay, I'm learning, I'm developing my character, I'm finding out what I like and what I don't like based on the decisions, because you need feedback to know what that is. And if you're always indecisive and not making a decision, then where's the feedback coming from?
You are regressing, right? Yeah. And the only thing that separates it, not the only thing, but the most prominent thing that separates us from the animals is the ability to make a conscious decision, right? It's the ability of choice, because choice is power, and a conscious choice is power beyond your imagination.
And the only way you can make a conscious decision is by feedback from making an unconscious decision, until you get hurt enough to go, okay, I'm now aware of what I'm doing. And it is self-awareness, right? If you can come from that place, that you can start learning, this is how I now make decisions, because you're going to find out what your strategy is in order to make decisions. So getting that feedback from every action that you decide to take is going to lead you towards where you want to go. It's also going to lead you towards the path that's meant for you. But other people making a decision for you, you're not going to go towards what you're supposed to go towards. You will not find out who you are. You will probably live a mediocre life. You'll never lead a life to financial freedom or to living a fulfilled life whatsoever. And people like that generally are miserable, are cynical. It can lead to this place of a victim mindset. And in order to get away from that, it means stepping away from who you think you are, because where you think you are is this comfort zone. And if you think, if I avoid that decision, I get to stay there. But where do you stay? Nature is all about growth. If you're not growing, you are dying. So that's what it feels like. If you're not making a decision, you're not growing, which means you feel like you're dying. You feel like you're letting yourself down. And this really is so important if you want to grow to become the kind of person that you envision yourself to be. And if you're watching this video, you're clearly on the right track.
That's right.
Thank you for really getting involved to know that, it's time. I'm not going to be held down by the excuses and reasons, because you can find a million, as Julia was saying. And we're here to say, look, if you want your life to change, look for the solution. Look for a way to make a decision, even if you're not sure. And it means stepping off the cliff, right? Because they say, step off the cliff and grow your wings on the way down. That's what happens when you make a decision. You will become resourceful based on the decision you make.
Yeah. And also decision making is responsibility, responsibility, and decision is not a decision unless it is supported by action. Now, this is a very, very important thing to keep in mind, because some people might say, oh yeah, well, I have decided towards this specific outcome or that specific outcome, but they take absolutely no action towards it. You did not make a decision if you don't have action that's supporting that specific decision.
Yeah, 100%. Because you know what, if I look at someone and they tell me all this and they say this and they say that, I really see by their actions, not what they say. That's really who defines someone. You could say it till you're blue in the face, but if there's no action, nothing changes. You can read about personal development. You can watch this video and go, I feel like I'm going to take action, but without any action, you're still in the same place.
Because as soon as you take an action, you're taking on responsibility for that specific action.
Yes.
You're not letting the outside world make it for you. You're not waiting until you are actually against the wall and then the outside world makes it for you, which is very much the case for most people who are choosing to stay in an indecisive moment, an indecisive mindset, and in a limbo. That, you know what, in the end of the day, the universe will make that choice for you, and it will not be the way that you want it to be.
It will get you out there kicking and screaming.
Yep.
So it's forcing you to grow. Otherwise, you are not needed, because nature will get rid of anything that is not growing. So do not be discarded. This is why we want to put this out there. So this will have a compound effect in your life, from all the areas of your life, from financial, health, social, from your family, because when you start making decisions, everything is linkable in some way, right? Everything is connected. So when you make a decision in one area, how you do anything is how you do everything to a degree. So when you start making a decision, you feel confident, it's going to have a knock-on effect in every aspect of your life.
Yeah.
And it will change who you thought you were, because it gives you a sense of freedom to go, I'm not who I thought I was. And with all that, maybe the past conditioning and who you thought you were, who you think other people think you are, when you make a decision, you separate from your old self and you're giving freedom for something new to come in. Yeah. Which means that you're becoming bigger and bolder, and you're taking on more responsibility because you're able to.
Yeah.
But as soon as a lot of people would rather stay where they are, and I looked at it, I remember looking at it saying, why do people avoid going to the gym or starting? And I remember hearing it years ago. If I start, that means I have to carry on. So it's an idea of
commitment.
Yeah, it's a commitment to the decision. So it's like, well, if I just don't make any commitment at all, make any decision, then I don't have to keep doing it. And I remember having that sort of mentality years ago, until I realized, well, if I keep thinking that way, this is why my life is going to carry on being that way. And I wasn't happy. Suddenly it was like, you know what? If I want a bigger life, I've got to be willing to take the responsibility. And you know what? You do become resourceful, and you suddenly realize you are far bigger than who you think you are.
Yeah.
But until you make a decision, you'll never really find out who you actually are. So that's why it's so important to do this. And this is why we're imploring you to make that decision. So maybe there's something in your life that you're thinking of right now. And, you know, if you can take a moment, what is that?
Yeah, it's that honesty with yourself, because in the end of the day, the quality of your decisions equals the quality of your life. Now, we can only speak from experience, because when you increase, say, the volume of your decisions, so if you increase the impact of those decisions, and if you gain that confidence in making one after the other, like for example, in our case, we make decisions on a daily basis that are massive. Right, and we have come to that point because we have trained ourselves and our minds enough that once we make the decision, we stick to it. Yeah. Now, what most people say and what most people do is that they start to question. We mentioned it in the beginning, right?
Exactly what I'm going to go into now.
Yeah, so basically, what it becomes a very erratic energy stream, right? It becomes a very erratic thought pattern. I have committed to a decision, but hang on a minute, maybe I shouldn't have done that, and this and that, and so.
This is where pre-framing comes in. I'm sorry, I have to jump in this because I've had clients who are making a very big decision. They're having to make a big decision because, one, they're separating from who they think they are to their limited place. Up to that moment, they've reached their, should we say, the edge of their comfort zone, and they want to grow, but it takes that leap of faith, right? So they have to jump in and say yes. They don't know how. That's the scary part, right? But they want to have a belief that they are going to get to this vision, this feeling that they're looking for. And when they make that yes, and they go, yes, there's a liberation. And then when I speak to a client, I pre-frame it. I go, look, you're saying yes, brilliant. When I get off this call, you maybe start doubting it. Or what if this and what if that? And that's your mind coming in to protect you, to keep you within your limitations, right? I let them know this is absolutely natural. You're going to have this come up, but you step forward anyway. You stay committed to the commitment, because if you give up on that, then you're reinforcing this, I'll make a decision, then I'll come back. Oh, I can cancel it any time. But then you really never really truly commit to anything, and your life will never really grow, because you're giving yourself an outing, right? You need to burn the boats, as they say.
Yes.
There's no going back. You make the commitment, go, I'm going to make it work, because I'd rather train that muscle than the muscle of, yes, I'm going to do it. No, I'm not. I'm scared and this, because that is hard to shake off.
Yeah. And also, letting go of everything that hasn't served you in order to make that decision, because there's no such thing as vacuum, right? So for example, with us, what we want to do is move, for example, right? And in order to do that, in order for us to move, we can't say to ourselves, oh, we're going to keep our ties here and we're going to open it up there, and then we can always come back. This kind of mentality will keep us in a limbo. We already know that. Now, how to know when is the right time to make decision? Right? You have to become so intuitive in your life, and you have to really look out for signs and for opportunities that are coming your way, because there will be an opportunity every single day, I guarantee you. There is every single day an opportunity that's coming in, that's knocking on your door, and that is asking for you to be brave and to take it. Right? I'm not saying that opportunities will ever get depleted, they don't, but our ability to notice them can be a little bit more dull, depending on how preconceived we are with how things are supposed to run, right?
It's like the universe presents you with opportunities. The more you say, no, that's it, wait, it sort of starts, the universe doesn't give them as much.
No, I wouldn't say that. It does, but you won't be able to see it because of your preconception.
Which is in the same difference of not being able to see it, then you see nothing and you become a victim. Oh, it's against me, it's never for me, and so forth. So it's this, as you say, this way of thinking is really going to stick to where you are, and it's going to reinforce your story that you are a victim, because you don't see the opportunities. Those who act, there's opportunities every single day.
Absolutely, as long as there is action. Now, universe is abundant, right? There is so many ways that one single day can plan out, right? And that abundance, and being aligned with that abundance, and inviting new opportunities to come in, because you have enough confidence in yourself to be able to make the decision, is what's going to make you outstanding, is what's going to make you stand out from the rest, right? So, and that's what will later on make up your personality. It will make up your credibility. It will make up your reputation, right?
People will then trust in you, because they know that you're adaptable, right? And you are able to be resourceful for whenever is necessary. You work it out once you make a decision. Yeah, sure, okay. I remember I was getting addicted to just saying yes to everything, like the Yes Man from the Jim Carrey film. I would say yes, and I'll work it out, and I'll be like, okay.
And that's what you're still doing.
And I'm still doing it, because I've now switched the roles where I feel uncomfortable when I'm comfortable, and I feel comfortable when I'm uncomfortable. And that was a switch, because I said it so many times. Yes, I just take it on. To first time to go on stage, to then speak to in front of more people, or do this or do that. I said yes to it. I was very scared, okay, because I wasn't the kind of person in that moment to be able to do the very thing by that date. But when that date came, by that decision I made, I became the kind of person who could show up on that date. I didn't think, well, when my ducks are in a row, when everything's ready, then I'll be right for it. I knew that was
never going to happen.
I knew it was a fallacy. It wasn't real. So I had to go, yes, on that date, and go, okay, I better prepare myself. And I just did it. Because once you make a decision, you've already grown to be the kind of person to do it. And that was it. There was no other alternative. And the people who succeed in life know that. And if you go, but, I've got this or this and this, keep your excuses. I mean, they are yours, right? But I'm here to say, look, it's just an excuse. Everything else is an excuse. Just make the decision. you will start to see your life changing drastically, and you'll start to know who you actually truly are, which is, I feel, is the whole point of why we're on this journey in the first place.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. So with this video, again, we are opening up an invitation to getting to know yourself, right? To getting to know that you have the ability to make the decisions, to make choices. This is actually your power. Your power is in your choices, and how much those choices run in line with your higher self, with your true potential, with the growth. And it's like making choices that are life affirming rather than death affirming. And death affirming, how do you distinguish between life affirming choices and death affirming choices? Because death affirming choices are likely to be choices that you usually make. Well, not necessarily usually make, but are comfortable choices, right?
Yeah, so it'd be fantastic if you can make a commitment right now.
Call to action.
For yourself, really, nothing for us, because we're already doing it. But if you could make a commitment, if there's something that you need to make a decision, and you were willing to do it, I would love to hear what that was. That you went, you know what do I need to happen really in order to make the decision? Something outside of myself, or can I create it in me to give me enough strength? Because you do have it. You are a powerful being, way beyond your potential.
So true.
Way beyond. And in order for us to prove that, make a decision and stick to it, and you'll see what we're talking about.
Yeah, but most importantly now, listen. Give yourself a chance to dull all the noises from the outside. Breathe in deeply, stay with yourself, and ask yourself what decision is knocking on my door. You will know. You will know what it is about.
Don't know what the decision to make.
Yeah, exactly. But the opportunity, like I said before, is always knocking, and you are just one decision to make away from living the life of your dreams.
Yeah, 100%. It's right there if you're willing to see it. What have you been telling yourself for you not to see it? And are you still willing to tell yourself that? Yeah. Or do you want to bring that down and go, you know what, I'm done? Because it gets to that point, and we would rather you not get to that point where you're having to hit rock bottom, or you just can't take it anymore. Most people will wait till that point of absolute pain. Right? People usually are built to move away from pain towards pleasure.
The catalyst,
right?
Yeah.
You need to really kind of go, you need to feel the pain sooner rather than waiting till it drags out for you to then have to make a decision kicking and screaming. The sooner you can make it, the sooner your life will keep growing, you'll keep developing, and you'll have everything that you actually want, which is ultimate fulfillment and confidence. Not the materialistic things per se, but it's that inner knowing, that inner wisdom, that inner guidance, that you trust yourself, because when you have that, that is priceless.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for checking out our video. Would love to hear your comments below. Just let us know what you thought, what came up for you. Share, because we do look at pretty much every single comment, and as you can see, we reply to every single comment. So please do share your experiences.
Thank you for being with us, guys. Blessings.
Bye.
Bye.